By the time Richard Sumner entered the second phase of his career, the reputation had already been established. Businesses knew exactly who to call when spreadsheets became too large, too fragile, or too important to fail. But while the projects became more ambitious, the philosophy behind them remained remarkably simple. Build systems that work. Build them clearly. And build them to last. That thinking became the foundation of Spreadsheet Redemption, the story of a failing business rebuilt through structure, organization, and the painstaking reconstruction of a spreadsheet system that had long since fallen apart. He followed this with Common Sense, a surprisingly grounded drama praised for demonstrating that the most effective business solutions are often the simplest ones. You don't need a sixth sense just to use them. As technology evolved, Richard developed a reputation for resisting industry trends that prioritized complexity over reliability. In Top Sum, he plays a veteran specialist refusing to abandon proven methods in favor of fashionable shortcuts, insisting that dependable systems will always outperform impressive-looking ones under pressure. That philosophy continued in iSpreadsheet, where Richard explores a future in which spreadsheets finally begin working alongside businesses instead of against them. The film became particularly well known for its emphasis on compatibility, portability, and systems capable of functioning wherever they were needed. Not just on one machine. Not just in one office. But anywhere. That same flexibility became central to How to Get a Better Spreadsheet in 10 Days, where Richard is tasked with rapidly transforming chaotic business processes into something stable, usable, and immediately effective under extreme time pressure. By now, the films had started attracting attention for another reason. Consistency. While other spreadsheet specialists became increasingly dependent on complicated automation, Richard's systems remained remarkably grounded, built using techniques that ordinary businesses could continue using long after the original project had finished. That reliability became a recurring theme throughout his later work. In Spreadsheet of Your Dreams, businesses pursue the perfect system, only to discover that the real solution lies not in complexity, but in clarity. In Locked Sheets and Two Smoking Bar Graphs, a tightly controlled spreadsheet operation begins to unravel after years of overcomplication, forcing everyone involved to confront the risks of systems nobody truly understands. Even the lighter projects carried the same underlying message. In Bar Chart Watch, Richard investigates suspicious reporting activity inside a business obsessed with appearances over accuracy. And in A Classic Part, he demonstrates that older methods, when applied properly, often remain every bit as effective as the latest trends. Around this time, audiences also saw a more personal side to the story. In Spreadsheets and Admin Support, Richard once again works alongside Wendy Sumner, highlighting the practical reality of what happens after systems are delivered, the organization, support, and day-to-day structure required to keep businesses operating smoothly. And in the family-oriented Lost with Excel, viewers were briefly introduced to the next generation, proving that even the most complicated systems become manageable when built clearly enough for others to follow. As the years progressed, Richard's work became less about reacting to problems, and more about preventing them entirely. That shift defined the Spreadsheet Avenger, where recurring spreadsheet failures are identified and eliminated before they can spread through the business. The theme continued in Star Rose, a large-scale production centered around bringing order and structure back to increasingly chaotic systems. By the time Planet of Spreadsheets was released, Richard's role had evolved once again, this time confronting sprawling business environments where spreadsheets had expanded far beyond what they were ever meant to become. Yet despite the growing scale, changing technology, and endless pressure to follow industry trends, the approach remained remarkably consistent. Keep it clear. Keep it reliable. And never sacrifice long-term stability for short-term spectacle. That philosophy became Richard Sumner's legacy. Not because it was flashy, but because it worked.